starring Beverly McKinsey.
Well, seeing you're a friend of Justin's, I guess your check's good enough.
Thanks.
Isn't she a sweetheart?
Oh, well, 4 digits are better than none. However, it was a little too easy. Next time I'll know to up the ante.
Do me a favor. Next time, take your business to some other station. That wasn't easy at all. I had to use all the force I could muster with finance.
Oh, is that why it took you so long, honey?
You are carrying my sports banquet money for the entire year. Don't spend it all in one place.
Well, I thought I might buy a little KVIK stock with this money. Good investment, huh?
I think it'd be a very good investment, Paige, after you've earned it. After you've told us about Curtis and the Top of the World Club and where Alex Wheeler fits into the whole picture, I think KVIK's stock is going to soar.
No reason to come unglued, brother dear. You know my rules. You pay, I obey.
We're all ears.
Well, the first thing I noticed was that foolish elevator. I mean, it was hard not to notice it. Poor Terry Decker spends the livelong day in some never-never land between Clipper's office and Wheeler's.
Terry Decker, is she the sister of that race car driver? What's she got to do with all
She's
this?
Wheeler's secretary. She has been for 10 years. Now I think she's Curtis's...
Bosom buddy? Well, at least she thinks she is.
Oh, so that explains it. Curtis and I live in the same complex. I always see him by the pool with this dark-haired girl.
Well, anyway, this raven-haired beauty and I were talking one night, you know, just chatting, girl talk, when suddenly, out of the blue, she muttered something about having me fired. Well, needless to say, I was shocked and appalled, especially when she said that she'd go over Clipper's head to do it. I mean, what's overhead the top of the world, huh? Clouds and rafters? Is this an appeal to the angels, or did she mean that,
Bingo. Guess who, Sam?
All right, I'll have a research team plow through the legal snowbank and see if they can come up with a bank note or a receipt or anything to prove that Wheeler's behind the club. But what I want to know is why. What's in it for him?
You ought to know the answer to that. The clientele is a who's who of Houston. Half the deals in this town are made up there.
No, if it's information he wants, there's better ways than watching the corporate crowd shake hands over lunch.
Yeah, I wouldn't knock it. Works pretty well for Clipper. Of course, those little monitors in his office help. You know, he can see every inch of that place from his desk. And then, too, I suppose, those teeny-weeny little microphones underneath each table come in handy. You know, when he gets tired of reading lips. And then, too, gets tired of listening, he can just take a little nap after he turns on his, video recorder.
You mean he tapes conversations for Wheeler?
Isn't that illegal, Sam?
Oh, no more than treason or armed robbery.
Well, shoot 'em up, cowboys. That's it for me. Hope you all had a nice afternoon, and see y'all later.
She makes Rena look like a saint. But you were right. The money is well spent. Now, where do we go from here?
Straight up. To the top of the world. Don't worry, boss. I've got a plan. You see? It's perfect. He's expecting me for the interview anyway. You just get me a cameraman with brains and a little nerve, and along with Clipper Curtis's smiling face, we're going to get you shots of hidden microphones and tape machines in the works.
When is all this supposed to happen?
I told him I'd be there this afternoon.
This afternoon?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't leave us much time.
Time?
I just don't know.
Time? I'm doing all the legwork.
Justin, you've got to let me get this straight in my head. After all, it is pretty risky.
Look, what do you want? You want a 1-minute spot about the happy halfback? Or do you want the nitty-gritty about why Wheeler is kept at the top of World Oil?
You're so naive. Think about it. Wheeler is the type of man who is bound to have a battalion of lawyers ready to descend and slap a slander suit on us.
It's just like a woman.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
It means don't get so nervous. There's no law against telling the truth.
And how do we know Paige isn't lying? There's no way to check her story.
No reason for her to lie.
She just walked out with 4,500 reasons.
All right, what do you want to do? You want to ask Alex's permission? Alex, could we come up and tape some evidence against you this afternoon?
Listen, Buster. You had better believe before you get the green light on this it is going to be approved and reapproved, and not just by me, but by Vicky.
Well, you might as well call Wheeler anyway. You're going to get the same answer. Sam, don't you know your aunt's been having an affair with him for years?
Yes, I do know. I'm a little surprised you do. Or has Rena been up to show and tell again?
Well, there's nothing to tell, is there? It's pretty old. It's a pretty old story. I just expected Victoria Bellman to be stronger, that's all.
She is strong. It's just that strong women are attracted to strong men. That's just a fact of life, and it's all the more reason why we should check with her before going ahead with this.
You really think she's going to say yes? Tell the whole world her lover is a crook?
Hi. What's that?
Orange juice.
Well, it's not exactly champagne, but it will help us celebrate.
If only there was something to celebrate.
Ah, but there is. The future. Our future. And it finally arrived. Today.
Our future?
Yeah. Guess who I was just talking to on the phone? The vice president of Woodard Galleries.
The big New York chain?
That's right. And they're looking for an affiliate right here in Houston. And somehow they managed to get our name. You know what that means? That means that Western art will have unlimited credit and access to the finest artists in the world.
And you and me?
That's right. We can stay. You and I will live and work together right here as Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Carrington.
Oh, Dennis. It's just what we hope for. But how did they find out? Who told them about us? It could have been Justin. He knows some people in New York.
Well, who knows? The next time they call, I'll ask them, all right? But right now, this calls for a toast. Presto changeo. This orange juice has just become imported champagne.
Imported from the ranch. Lovely bouquet.
1980. Not a bad year.
The best ever.
To champagne. And to all our dreams come true.
And to our anonymous friend.
Right. Oh, and I almost forgot. And here's to the look on my mother's face when I tell her that you and I are going to make it on our own. Without, Alex Wheeler's help.
On our own. Together.
All right, for starters, did neither of you see a connection between the oil deal Curtis cooked up with Colonel Assine and Sheikh Zady's death?
That's the worst of it. This whole business just slipped my mind. The day that Clipper approached me was the same day that Iris brought her son, Dennis, over here for lunch. Between trying to break the ice with Dennis and mend things with Iris, I just had other things on my mind. that this scheme was so outlandish.
All right, okay, I see. Now, please, could you give me the rest of the details?
I told you all I know. Clipper said he could get contracts to ship Tangier oil. That's all.
Well, with the revolution and knowing the kind of character Hassine is, he just might have been able to swing it. Now, how does Clipper know Hassine?
He said they were friends.
They didn't look too friendly to me when I saw them. Did you tell you that too, Alex?
Well, I believe he said that they were colleagues. He said the colonel wanted him to be Tanger's agent, but now that you mention it, though, Hassine didn't say much. And he seemed almost relieved when I said no. I remember thinking that he might have just been humoring Clipper.
You're warm.
What does that mean?
Now, what exactly did you tell him, Alex?
No. Plain and simple. When Clipper started pressing me for reasons, I told him the truth. I won't touch oil from the refinery that cost Mike Marshall his life. Not with all this trouble that's continuing on between us. The last time I saw Justin was at the business end of a rifle, and he meant to kill me. Then Dawn comes at me with her fists. And what's worse, she's done a fine job of turning Dennis Carrington away from me. Nope. I won't add fuel to that fire. Not even Tangier crude.
Those are darn good reasons, and Clipper knew it. But he even told me later he was glad you turned him down. That he knew it never would have worked.
Well, then why did I just see him and Hassine in Stryker Bellman's office pitching the same deal? No, I didn't hear them. And all Stryker would tell me was that they were talking about competing with World Oil. What does that sound like to you? Come on, it's pretty obvious. Clipper and Hassine aren't friends. They aren't even colleagues. Think about it. Curtis doesn't know oil. So what use is he to Hassine? Unless he's got our friend the Colonel over a barrel. Alex. He's blackmailing Hassine, I'm sure of it.
No!
Because Hassine is a second man, don't you see? The one who came up with the plot to kill Zadie. He's probably the one who did in the orderly, too. And your boy Clipper has known about this all along. Terry, I'm sorry. I just have to call it like I see it, okay?
You're not sorry, you're glad. You've never liked Clipper. You've had it in for him since the first day you met.
Jerry, that's not...
You're right, I don't like him. A friend or enemy, I wouldn't make up lies about a man.
Well, then don't jump to conclusions either. Look, I'll be the first to admit Clipper's no angel, but you don't know him like I do. Sure, sometimes he's selfish, sometimes he's even greedy. I know that. I'm not blind. But underneath it all, he's a good man, Ryan, whether you want to believe it or not.
I guess we all have to believe what we have to, huh?
Ask Alex. Tell him, Alex. Tell him you trust Clipper or you wouldn't keep him on to run the club.
Terry, I know how you feel about him. But the truth is, if it weren't for you, Clipper would have been long gone by now.
Well, you two must think I'm a prize fool, don't you? Don't you? To be loving the man you say cost Sheik Zadie's life? The man you call a liar and a blackmailer?
Terry, think now. Has he always been honest with you?
Yes, always.
Come on.
Always! Look, you suspect the worst of everybody. You think I'm lying now?
And he's never pressured you, to make you see things his way, huh?
No, of course not. Pressure? You think he'd bribe me?
No, I don't mean money. I mean feelings, emotional blackmail. Now, never?
No. No, he loves me. He wants to marry me. He just can't yet. But he wouldn't. I wouldn't let him do that to me.
Then he has tried.
Damn it. You deserve the best, Terry, and Clipper Curtis is not it. Alex, thank you. I know all I need to know. I'll take it to my contacts with the feds.
All right, good luck. Let me know what happens. And you know, I hope you're wrong.
Almost wish I were for her sake. But I'm not.
Harry, don't! If he's done nothing, then he doesn't have to be warned. But if he's guilty, you can't. I know how you feel about him. I also know why you can't.
Well, here I am, right on time.
Oh, Jenny Marshall, you are right on time to brighten up my day. That's what you are.
Oh, Stryker, I'm sorry. I thought Ryan would be here with me.
Sorry, is she? Well, I will tell you one thing. There was a day when they used to come hunting after me, particularly the good-looking ones like you.
Oh, you. You know you're still the most sought-after man in town. You've got Rena around your neck and Vicky and...
You know what they say now. Women are fickle. It's best to have a few in reserve.
They do say that. Do you think they're right?
Well, about some, maybe not about you. As a matter of fact, the fickle one is Ryan Connor this morning. He was just here. He said you were coming into town, and then something urgent reared its ugly head, and off he went.
And he just left? Well, I guess I'm not in that urgency category.
Now, listen, don't look like a calf that can't find its mammy. He'll be back directly. Come on, sit down in the meantime. I'll help you sort out your business. I have an idea. I know why you're here.
It's about that certificate for Barrett.
Well, there's a little bit more to it than that, but it's still a pretty straightforward business. You have to petition the Department of Defense for a certificate of presumed death. That's the first thing. Then you take that to a Texas civil court and have them clear up Mike's estate. That will assure Steve of getting his father's share. Sound complicated?
No, never sounded simpler. You're a fine lawyer, Stryker. You talk like a lawyer and you know how to say things. But when you peel back all those words, what it really means is that I'm giving up on Barrett. I'm letting him go.
There's no voice to blame you but your own now. You have done him right. I would never say that to you if I didn't think it was so. Barrett Marshall. As young as he was one of the few men that I always looked up to. I would never sit by and let anybody do him wrong. Not even his wife. For 5 years. There's not many women that would wait that long. Not many at all.
No, the waiting was easy. The sun comes up, goes down, comes up again. Time played its usual tricks. I couldn't keep him, Stryker. Not in my heart, in my mind. He's more of a shadow now, a silhouette. A very old photograph. Weathered. Fading. And now there's something else. I seem to be...
Hi, Stryker.
Here he is.
Ginny. Hi.
Good morning. Are you busy?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am. I've only got a few minutes. I didn't want you to think I'd forgotten our appointment, but I'm afraid I can't keep it.
And now, the next part of Texas.
Ginny, okay? Maybe Stryker here will have some time for you.
Oh, certainly.
You make me sound as if I'm a child demanding too much attention.
Hey, come on. You know I didn't mean that.
Listen, will you two excuse me? It's just about time for my morning constitutional.
You're angry, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Ginny, if you're angry, just holler at me. Don't make me guess.
No, I'm just confused. I wouldn't have even come here this morning unless you would have asked me to. Well, no, that's not entirely true. I wanted to get this legal procedure out of the way. And whether you or Stryker takes care of it, it doesn't matter. But Ryan, still, you looked at me as if I were some kind of a bill collector.
Maybe I did, huh? Well, I guess a little bit of guilt will do that to you. I'm sorry. Just as something else came up, and I'm not used to having these divided loyalties.
Oh, it's not easy, believe me.
Look, I really meant to spend time with you today, and I'm sorry about brushing you off, but you and I spent a lot of time talking about duty, and you understand it just as well as I do, maybe even better. And I told you how much I owe Sheikh Zaidi.
This has to do with him?
That's right. I just got a solid lead on who killed him. Now I can't let that wait. I've got to follow it up right now, right away. You understand that, don't you?
I think so.
Good. Now when this is done, I'll be with you. I'll call you just as soon as it's over, okay? I promise.
All right.
Ginny, I've never been very good at being in love. Maybe I just never put my mind to it. I don't know why. But you and me, well, I'm not going to give that up. So if you just wait for me until it's done, okay?
How long do I have to wait? A few days, a week, a month? Don't make it long, Ryan. I know what waiting does.
It won't be long. It won't be long at all.
Oh, listen, I cut my morning walk shorter. Too much exercise isn't good for a man my age. It seemed that Ryan left here quite a clip. Anything gone awry in here? Of course, it's none of my business.
No, Stryker. It's exactly what you said. He had some urgent business to take care of.
Patience, Ginny. That young fella has got a penchant for doing one thing at a time. I ask him to get signatures. He gets signatures. If I asked him to go fly a kite, he'd just go fly a kite. But everything else goes by the board. You can count on that. Listen, you want to postpone this business about Barrett for a while? You can call me when you...
No. If this is the right thing to do, it's just as right today as it will be tomorrow.
Telephone. I was expecting a call from Stryker. Ooh, but the looks on your face tells me it must have been one of your bevy of beaux.
Lena, no, it was Dennis.
Dennis? Well, now, this is an occasion. I thought he was holed up somewhere, taking no calls, at least not from you anyway. Has he had a change of heart?
Not yet, but I'm confident he will. He just go with some very good news for Alex.
He's relaying messages through you to Alex?
Oh, no. I'll explain later. I have to hurry and dress. I'm meeting Alex to talk about renovations on the house.
Oh, so it's all settled, huh? Well, I must say, honey, that is some gift. Little did I know when I talked you into visit in Houston that you'd wind up being one of my neighbors, practically.
You sound as if you almost regret it.
Oh, no. No, of course not. But I will miss having you in my guest room. It'll just be little old me kicking around this empty house, just me and Beth. What a nightmare.
I know. Why don't you come with me now? I could certainly use your advice on the house.
No, honey, you don't need me.
But I do. I enjoy your taste. And besides, Rena, I don't know what things I can get in Houston and what things I can't.
I'm sure that whatever your little heart desires, Alex will have it flown in from Paris or Jupiter or wherever.
Oh, that's it, isn't it? You won't come because you don't want to see Alex.
No, I just have things on my mind.
Rena, that's not true. Every time I mention his name lately, you pout or make a face or some snide comment. You've become almost as irritating as Dennis.
Oh, now wait just 1 minute. I'm the one that tried to get you two together, remember? Way back then, you were the one quaking at just the mention of his name.
I'm well aware of that, and I was grateful to you, but things have changed, and I think I know why. You're jealous.
Me? Jealous of you and Alex? Oh, no, Iris. Honey, you're barking down the wrong alley. I mean, I know some who might be, but not this kid, no.
I'm not talking about just Alex. It seems to be me. You don't want me to have attention from any man, whether it's Alex or Justin Marshall.
Oh, now, Justin is a little different.
See?
Honey, I just want you to be happy. Don't you believe me? All right. Just to prove to you that you're wrong, I'll agree to go as far as the world builded, and I'll say hello to Alex. I gotta talk to Stryker anyway.
Well, good. And afterward, you ask Stryker, and I'll ask Alex, and we can all meet for lunch at the club.
Well, I wouldn't count on it, sweetheart. I have a feeling that Stryker and I are gonna be pretty busy.
Iris. Rena.
Surprise, Alex. Aren't you glad to see me?
Of course.
It must be nice having your private elevator from the garage. I'll bet it's just perfect for secret little rendezvous. With Iris and heads of state, whoever, maybe even the press.
Rena just came to say hello.
Yes, hello, Alex. How are you? I'm fine. Oh, my, isn't this lovely? Just as I had imagined it. No, actually, just as I had pictured it. How do I get out?
Through these two offices, and then out into the hall.
Well, Alex, I'm sorry for cutting our reunion short, but I have to get downstairs and check on Stryker.
I understand.
He hasn't been quite himself lately, as you know.
Yes, I've heard, and I regret it.
I suppose you do, but then people always care afterwards, don't they? Well, so long. See you later.
What on earth is she talking about? Honestly, Alex, why must she be so unmannerly to you?
She hasn't given you a reason?
No. In fact, she has the cheek to deny it altogether. But I have my own theory.
So do I.
You do?
Yes, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to take you over to your new house. There's a decorator waiting for you at your beck and call, and a landscape architect if you wish to.
Home. How strange.
Why?
I've always been a rather homeless person, I think. Even Bay City was. Where Mac was. And before that, boarding schools, hotels, apartments. I was always temporarily lodged, you might say, as though I were forever on the way to someplace else.
You were. But now that you've arrived, Houston finally feels like a home to me. And it will to you, too. You'll see. I promise. I mean to make everything here, this town and that house, perfect. As perfect as you deserve.
Now, I'll have Hallie type all that up. You just have to come in and sign it and have it notarized. Don't look so glum. This is just the end of phase 1.
Daddy?
Oh.
Oh, Jenny, hi. How's every little thing out at the ranch? Oh, fine. And you? You haven't been out to ride lately.
Well, have you gotten rid of that ill-mannered foreman of yours?
Rena.
You mean Max? Oh, Rena, I don't think that Max will ever leave us till the river runs uphill. Thank you, Stryker.
My pleasure.
Call me when you need me, would you?
No, I sure will. Okay, bye,
Bye.
honey. Well, one goes out and another one comes in. I have got the world building agog with the procession of beauties that pass through my office.
Speaking of beauties, Daddy, did you or didn't you talk to Vicky last night? Now, you promised you'd call me. Well, is it over between you two or not?
Your mother and I had a very candid talk.
Oh, pooh, that's a politician in you talking. Now, I want to recap, blow by blow, you hear? I've waited a long time for this, all those years, and you wouldn't even believe me. All I want is a little satisfaction.
Well, I'm afraid, honey, that you are not going to get it.
Oh, yes, I will. One way or another, you just watch me. Now, what did Mommy, dear, have to say to herself when you told her that you knew all about her and Alex Wheeler?
Very little.
Oh, don't
Very
tell me.
little indeed.
I can see it now. I bet she played injured and contrite to the hilt. That woman's got more ploys. I mean, why does she ever bother buying a TV station to run when she could have been a star on the screen? All right. All right. So you're too gentle spirit to have trampled her into the ground like she deserves. She was counting on that. Daddy, what I want to know is what she did when you told her you were going to walk out on her.
What?
Stryker, you did tell her that now, didn't you?
There was no need. There was no need to do it. No need to say it even.
Stryker, what are you saying? Now, I know you. You're not just going to lie down and let her and her fancy man steamroll over both of us.
Will you hold on, Rena? When Vicky and I went back together again, I swore I would not hold against her anything that happened in the meantime. 20 years is a long separation. I don't guess that I ever expected her not to see somebody now and then. I will admit I was a little surprised at who the gentleman was. But your mother must have loved me or she wouldn't have come back to me. And the day she did, everything between her and Alex was over. Ancient history. And you and I have to do our best to let it lie.
Daddy, she's gone off and done it to you again. She's pulled the wool over your eyes and played patty cake with the truth. You're still dead wrong about Vicky.
No.
I guess there's just one way to show you that you are. Come on, drive me home.
Oh, he was so full of romantic plans again. He and Dawn were so delighted. And I'm certain that Dennis has no idea why Western Art was approached.
Well, we'll keep it our secret until you think it's best to tell him.
You should have heard him. He went on and on about what this would do for their future, his and Dawn's. Oh, he was so happy. Of course, they both realized that someone must have recommended them to Mr. Woodard. But their best guess so far is Justin Marshall. Isn't that funny? Oh.
Are you Mr. Wheeler? Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Yes, I am, and you are,
Powell. Just call me Biff. I called Miss Decker, and she said you were on your way. Oh, I'm honored to meet you and all that, but, Mr. Wheeler, I have got to talk to you.
Well, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, the zoning laws, that's what. I mean, what are you planning to put in here, a bank?
Oh, Here. No. Mr. Powell, are you the decorator?
No, ma'am. I'm your contractor. I'll be making all the permanent changes you need, knocking out walls and whatnot. Well, you've heard of us, the Powell Brothers. We do a lot of work here in River Oaks.
Could you go on with it, Biff, please?
Oh, sure. You see, I've got this list here of things that you supposedly want. Now, just let me read it for you. 1 8-foot wall. Masonry or brick, 6 to 9 inch thickness, enclosing the entire estate. 1 guardhouse at street entrance with a 2-way intercom and direct line to the police, fully equipped for 24-hour use. Deadbolts on all the doors, silent alarms throughout, masked window alarms.
Hold it, Biff.
Alex, what is all that for?
Lady, that's what I said. Now, what are you keeping in here? Gold ingots?
No, something much more precious. Where did you get that list?
Oh, from that, what's his name, Mr. Connor. Now, he said that you sent him.
I did. I asked him to look over security, but evidently he went a little overboard. But don't worry, Biff. We're not building a fortress here. If you'll call me tomorrow, we'll discuss what I want. Huh?
Okay, but me? Thank you, sir. You hear? Ma'am.
Right, bye.
Alex, what was all that about? I mean, why did you send Ryan here?
I want this house to be safe for you. I don't want anything to happen to you here.
Well, protection against burglary is one thing, but Alex, walls? A guardhouse?
Darling, I have to admit there are some things I haven't told you because I would never want you to worry, but sometimes a man in my position is bound to have enemies.
Well, I suppose so. I hadn't thought of it.
And sometimes people will think that the easiest way to hurt me is to reach you.
Still no answer.
No,
If she's not there and she's not here, where is she?
there's no telling.
You don't think she's with the Wheeler?
No, Justin, that's all over with.
What's keeping her from the office? This is not the Victoria Bellman I've always known.
Well, I may as well tell you. You'll probably find out anyway. But Justin, please don't repeat this. Ever since my aunt broke up with Alex Wheeler, she's been drinking.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Way too much and way too often. At first, I thought it was just fatigue. But the other day, I found her passed out in her office, drunk. Lord knows where it's going to end.
Alex Wheeler. Eating away at another human.
Where are you going?
Listen, if Wheeler's got that much of a grip on Vicky, she is in no shape to decide whether she's going to do this expose or not. I'm going to decide for her. I'm going to get that camera crew and get up to the top of the World Club myself.
Wait, Justin, if you do that, even if you get something, I can't guarantee we're going to run it.
Well, maybe this isn't the only tube station in town. See you around, Sam.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of Texas.
No, I do not want to see them. You know that. Is that why you dragged me all the way out here?
Stryker, I thought you wanted to know the truth about Vicky.
Is there nothing that you will not accuse your mother of? Do you suppose that after I faced her down, after I told her that I knew everything about her and Alex, that she would still lie to me?
I know she did. If she said that she wasn't hung up on him anymore, still wasn't seeing him, then she lied, and I can prove it.
No.
And you just take one look at these pictures, and you tell me how far Vicky and Alex have been staying apart.
Do you think that I am senile or something? I know when those pictures were taken. You hired that detective to take him when Vicky was down in Bay City seeing me when I was sick.
Daddy, that was the first time. When I came back to Houston, I got curious again, so I hired that detective to do one more little job for me. Or I should say the same job all over again. Now, Daddy, you can tell from these pictures that they're new. Vicky's hairstyle, her summer clothes, look at them. Look. You don't want to. Stryker. Honey, I understand. Do? As long as you're not sure, you can still keep on doubting. You can still keep taking her back. You don't have to worry about where she's been when she's not with you, but you're just fooling yourself. Honey, I want you to look at this one. It's fairly harmless. This is Vicky at the private elevator. Now, do you recognize that summer dress? She didn't have that one months ago, now did she?
Show me. I said, show me, damn it. Show me the rest.
Isn't that sweet, honey? They make such a lovely couple of worms. Oh, look at those soulful eyes. They must have been pouring their hearts out. Oh, and Daddy, that one. That is my favorite. Look at that kiss. Look at those tears. Now, you tell me that Vicky still doesn't love Alex Wheeler. Honey, it's as plain as the nose on your face. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.